Yankee Stadium. It will play host to some of the nation's finest today and another thrilling edition of Army football. And the Black Knights will boot it away to start the game. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. So the Charlotte 49ers offense will get first crack at it today. Let's take a quick second to call out some of the impact players their coaches mentioned in meetings this week. Anything you guys heard that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I love when coaches talk about guys that bring it every single day. Like, that we can depend on them. They can get...
And the Heat gets there, and they get him down at the 14-yard line.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys into coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
And the 49ers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Off the play fake. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't make the connection.
You know the saying, no risk it, no biscuit. If you want big plays on offense, you've got to be able to take shots. They didn't hit that one, but moving ahead in the second half, expect this offense to keep dialing the ball.
Yankee Stadium, alive. A wall of cadets trying to urge on their fellow soldiers on 3rd down. Got it, looking for the first down. And just a short, safe pass play, they pick up a few.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You've set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
They kick it away on 4th down. Now a fair catch is called for and made just shy of midfield. So the Army Black Knights offense will try to get something started with their first possession. But Jesse, it's always fun to see a guy who's been challenged, see if he can answer the bell and get things done.
Well, we talked to him this week, and he knows that people are out there questioning him. And I think that leaves a big chip on his shoulder, David. He wants to prove to the entire college football world he's got what it takes to win this football game. This is a big test for him.
And here's the thing. Proving it is one thing, Jesse. But it's not about you. And this is a team game. Obviously, the quarterback position is so dependent on others' success, but play within yourself, make those plays, don't make the big mistakes.
The give to the big fullback. Oh, he's got some space. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
Fullbacks are very unselfish. One of the most unselfish positions you can find in football. They block 99% of the time. But when you can give them that rock, get a first down, those guys are really big. You know, they're really powerful. They usually fall forward. No nonsense, no jukes, just hit you in the mouth.
This quarterback part of their running game. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Loses 2. Brings up 2nd down.
The Black Knights with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Grab behind the line. It's Reed. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense, catching the football.
3rd and short from the 22. Is the field goal unit getting ready, or is this already 4-down territory? Gives it on the option. He's got enough. It'll be a first down. They've got it at the 12.
This offense knew coming into this one, guys, how important it was to start early. And on this opening drive for them, they're doing a nice job running the football. They're on 3rd down. They're in a position on the field now. If you're on defense, you got to be ready for a shot throw into the end zone.
And the Black Knights have this offense rolling. On the option. Now the toss. And that one will go and reverse. The defense all over that pitch on the option.
And I think that time the quarterback made the wrong read. He was trying to pitch it. He didn't have to, though. There was a lot of green grass and space out in front of him. If he just holds on to that football, he might not score a touchdown, but he's definitely going to be able to at least get positive yards. I think that's a play on the option the quarterback would like to have back.
They shut him down immediately. They tried to pop the fullback loose and no running room there. That defender reacted immediately when he saw the play and just set his hair on fire toward the ball carrier.
And you got to see those plays. Those plays are very fast. It happens quick. There's no fake to a toss. It's pitching down the outside, trying to get to the wide side of the field. Great job by the defense. You got to set those edges by the defensive end, and everybody fly.
Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23.
And when you get this far behind the chains and it's a guaranteed passing situation, defensive linemen go to work. That's what we do. We want to get sacks. We want to rush the quarterback, especially in known situations like this. That's why the quarterback tasted that dirt.
And they decide to trot out the kicker. And this one will be a 40-yard try from the left hash. It is perfect. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0.
And you'll take that first drive. Like, you wanted a touchdown, but you gave the people here at home something to cheer about on that first drive. Move the football enough to get your kicker an opportunity and to put 3 on the board.
After that last field goal drive, they're set to kick it away. On the move from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Going to throw it over the top of the D. Finds a spot in the middle. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, 49ers.
Man, you want to make big plays in the passing game, and to do that, you got to be able to read the defense, see what they're doing to make sure you don't put the ball in harm's way. You could see he drops back, got really good comfort level with what he's seeing. He knows he's going to fit that post over the linebackers in between the safety. Ball is on the money, and they're rewarded with a touchdown.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 7-3. If only it were always this easy for the offensive coordinators. One play, big chunk yardage, put points on the board just like that. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. And they'll get off one more play before the end of the quarter. Back to pass, it's Coleman. Bringing the heat. Zings it complete to the right. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. Time has expired here in the quarter, and it's Charlotte on top. And we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the second quarter. The Black Knights with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. They'll send the back in motion. They'll give it to the back. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage.
It's a bad sign on offense when you have that many people running free at your running back. That means guys up front aren't getting their blocks. Just too many hats getting to the ball carrier. I love his effort, making multiple guys miss, but still, it's a negative play.
The short hands, it's short. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
Really nice job there by the quarterback, understanding that it's zone coverage on third down. You're going to have to find someone working into a soft spot, get the ball out of your hands quickly, make an accurate throw, and pick up the first. Well done.
Motion from the back. Here comes the option. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
When you play the option and you play this responsibility football, sometimes your eyes can get lost. They didn't on that play. Nice job honing in, getting in there quickly, getting the quarterback to the ground.
So now it's 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Here's the pressure. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
And these edge rushers, man, they're so athletic nowadays. They can get to the quarterback, bend that corner so quickly, get him on the ground before he knows what hits him. How about that defensive end and that speed off the edge?
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
And the Black Knights line up to punt it away. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. He will not make a fair catch. Steal the punt and bring it back. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. Looking for a gap. It's Stokes. Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The 49ers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Back to the ground with the running back. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
A look out over the Hudson, and it looks calm. It is not calm in Michie Stadium on this 3rd down. Caught in the backfield. It's Young. They'll move the chains. Good execution on 3rd down. They've got it at the 41.
It's not a great feeling on defense, too. When you're blitzing, you're expecting to get a sack. You're expecting to get a hit on the quarterback. If the offensive line and running backs pick it up, because now you have one less guy in the back end trying to cover all these receivers and tight ends, and you know you're in trouble.
Looking to pass. It's Harold. With the catch, it's Olsen. Down to the 26-yard line before they ride him out of bounds, and this defense is on its heels.
This offense is clicking, and clearly everything is working. The offensive coordinator's calling good plays, the quarterback and his unit is executing, and this defense right now, they have no answers.
And the 49ers have it with a 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. Fires to the wideout. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
They'll go back to the air on 2nd down. Makes the grab, and he will score! Touchdown, Niners!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
PAT unit on the field.
For the extra point.
And the extra point makes it 14-3. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. They'll snap the ball. First play of the drive coming from their own 24. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Caught in the backfield, it's Reed. They corral him out of bounds, mark it down at the 38, and this offense might have something going.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. He'll pull it on the read. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9.
As an offense, you're okay with that. You're going to run option plays, and sometimes you're going to bust it big, but sometimes you don't necessarily read it correctly, get some positive yards, and then we come back and we do it all over again with different reads against the different defense.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Firing to the right, complete. He gets it up to the 44-yard line. He'll be marked out of bounds right there as this offense continues to roll. They didn't get a whole lot of yardage there, but the big fullback slammed his way and got what he could.
Hey, listen, that's what you're supposed to do, catch the football. I'm not expecting that guy to catch the ball and make big plays after he catches it, but catch it, get me some positive yards, mission accomplished.
Fullback's got it. Slithers into space. That'll be enough for a first down as he crosses the 50 and gets it to the 48. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They have been stagnant on offense, but finally a little forward movement as they've got a 1st and 10. It's complete on the right side. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have 1 remaining in the half. After that last completion, it's 2nd down. Gets the back moving. To throw, it's Coleman. Throws to the wideout. With the catch, it's Fortner. Inside the 25, stopped at the 24. Clock will stop to move the chains. Just outstanding execution, continuing to work his way back through the football.
Yeah, and everything about this route looks vertical. The comeback, it looks like it's a go. I'm thinking speed, and then he sets it down. QB puts the ball on the money, and he makes the play.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
Clock winding towards 0. They'll get 1 more snap off. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Just enough time for 1 final play of the half. Looking downfield, and time is running short. Pressure is all over him, and he can't get it off. Down he goes, and that'll bring us to the end of the first half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Fellas, one thing we can always count on is a great atmosphere in West Point. And how do we possibly begin without singing the praises of this receiver? His ability to find gaps, run textbook routes, and then show that breakaway speed. He simply is the total package. How this secondary responds, whether they try to double team him or get aggressive at the line, that'll be the story of this second half. And with that, let's send it back to the guys along the banks of the Hudson inside venerable Michie Stadium.
The 49ers will kick it away to crank up the second half. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Army has it back in the offense, ready to go. If they're going to get on top in this game, they're going to have to find a way to get the running game going in the second half.
Agree, so it can create some more balance, some more unpredictability. I feel like this defense has got a good beat on what they're doing, especially if they don't mix it up a little bit. So I do look for a little second half running the football, Palmer, out of this group.
And I think the thing, Dave, is they just got to be more physical. I don't think this is a scheme question about trying different run plays. I think it's up to the big fellas up front. They've just got to make the decision that they're going to be tougher.
And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
This offense has to do a better job protecting their quarterback. They're already down 2 possessions. You know the pass has to come at some point, but they got to keep him clean. They can't get behind the sticks consistently. They've got to start to narrow this gap.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Caught in the backfield, it's Reed. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there.
Deep to shallow. That's what I have to understand that as a defensive guy. I take away those passes beyond the sticks, and then I react to those quick throws they have to the running back. It's my athlete versus yours. The defense won that battle.
The Black Knights will call on their punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He takes it at the 45. And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. Charlotte has the ball back. The 49ers offense will return to the field. Touch pass on the run. Turning it on. Brought down at the 20-yard line after ripping off the big play.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Got some room, entered to the goal line. Touchdown, Charlotte! And they take it in for 6 more points. Precision blocking up front created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
Lining up for the PAT.
Is on for the extra point.
And the extra point makes it a 21-3 lead. They wasted no time on that drive. 2 plays, touchdown just like that. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. On the run from inside his own 5. He's out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Excellent job by the kick coverage unit to keep him from getting the sideline. Quarterback on the keeper. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Man, I love that play by this corner. You know why? When you run the option and that thing gets spread out, your DBs have to commit to tackling. And how about the cornerback coming up, sticking his face in the fan, and making a play? You love to see DBs tackle like that.
He'll keep it himself. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Still on his feet at the 25. There he goes. Out across the 45, out of bounds at the 46-yard line. A big pickup here as they try to put together a scoring drive. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. And the Black Knights will snap it on 1st and 10. He'll do it himself. Steaming into the backfield to make the stop, and he'll lose 4.
Man, the momentum is squarely on their side right now. It's starting to feel like they're running away with this one. They scored a touchdown their last time out. Now on this drive here in the 3rd quarter, the defense makes a massive play against the run, creating a negative play. They've got the opponent going backwards.
Takes the handoff. It's Reed. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
If every journey begins with a step, this offense needs to step into a 3rd down conversion and then try to turn it into some scores, and fast. He'll try to do it himself. And couldn't quite find the crevice he needed to pick up the 1st down.
This is why 3rd down is so difficult for quarterbacks, because the defense substitutes, they put faster guys on the field, and they've got all of their different exotic looks they've been game planning all week for, some things you haven't seen on film yet, and it confuses your offensive line, it confuses you, and you're out here just trying to make plays, trying to do something right to get a 1st down. Wasn't able to gain a lot there.
Fair catch is made at the 15-yard line, and that's where they'll start this drive. This drive will open from the 15. Off the play fake on 1st down. Got it behind the line. It's Olsen. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
I don't know that there's a harder position in football to play than cornerback. You know, all the space in the game, the speed of the game, the big bodies out wide, but to be able to break on those short passes and be an open field tackler like that and give up no yards and protect deep, that's a nice job by the corner.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. That's the end of the period. Charlotte has the lead. And they are starting to pull away as we come to the end of the 3rd quarter. Let's take a look at how we got here. As we start the 4th quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this 3rd down play. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. At the 20, he's got space. He'll be stopped and forced out of bounds right around the 34-yard line, and now they've got a little something brewing.
And this offense does it again on 3rd down. They have been so elite on 3rd down all game long. That's the money down. All the coaches talk about it every single time we meet with them. They've been brilliant at it. They've built the lead, and they've got a good chance to finish this one out if they keep that up.
Gonna run it. It's Stokes. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, they're trying to run the football there, just nowhere to go. They got dominated up front at the point of attack.
Got stuffed on 1st down. It's 2nd and 10. They've got him looking raw, but they're going to throw it. The sure hands, it's Olsen. They'll get him at the 45, but he got 10 on that one.
A little bit surprising, not going to lie. You've got a big lead like this late in the game, and you're still throwing for it and being aggressive. But, hey, man, it's working. And if it's working, keep calling him, I guess.
And the 49ers are moving quickly down the field. The handoff, keep working on that clock. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
I think you have to like what you see if you're the coaching staff here. Your offense is on the field, and it looks like you got a pretty good drive going, and you're just going to try and keep this thing marching, keep the clock ticking. You've got a really nice lead here late. Just want to find ways to keep the chains moving. They're doing that.
Going to the running game. And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
That'll be enough for the first down as they stop him at the 43-yard line.
I think one of the biggest reasons why the scoreboard looks the way it does is this offense has been dominant on third down. They have found a way to stay on the field. They do it again here late running the ball on third.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they have this game in hand right now, but we'll see just how aggressive they want to be on offense. The 49ers have it with a 1st and 10. Takes the handoff. It's Stokes.
These situations are preached so much in college football. Finishing a game strong, understanding circumstances. They are running the football right at you, trying to keep that clock moving, get a few first downs, and get a W.
And the 49ers with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. He'll pull it on the read. Breaks into the open. A huge chunk play as he gets it all the way down to the 11.
And that's a nice job by this QB. Great job. You show patience, right? Like, if they don't come take me, I'm going to keep running. That's how I go pick up another first down, move the sticks, and this offense can keep churning.
The 49ers come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. Caught behind the line. It's Olsen. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall.
On defense, man, it helps you a lot when you can be a linebacker or a corner or some safety, anybody, and you see the QB throw the football. Now I can break on the football right away and limit gains like right here on this play.
Jet sweep to the receiver. He fought him off for a while, but that's what they mean by gang tackling.